NFL say anything about like Julio or anything like that. I've heard the opposite about Larry Fitz. I've heard like he goes online and asks you how your family's doing.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck that.
Right.
We're in the heat of battle right now. I hate you.
Whole different. Larry Fitzgerald's playing chess.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking. You really don't hear about Hopkins. Julio never really talk. He just go out there and ball out. Odell is more of like actions than talking.
I think
like he just did like a lot of bitch ass shit. You know what I mean? Like motherfucker would like.
You go at people's knees, you go at their helmets and shit.
Yeah, just
he was a bitch.
Just a lot of shady ass, dirty ass shit.
I think we could both agree that to say that he is not a good wide receiver is not true. Because I mean,
he's a beast.
He's a beast.
And
but to say he's a bad person, it's probably fairly accurate.
From what I've seen in the field,
exactly.
Like, he's done some
on
real
the field
shitty shit. Like, I remember when we played him in week 4 when they beat us. He was like fucking with my man Marlon Humphrey for no reason. Humphrey locking his ass up, and then he like tried to like slam him, but then Humphrey pinned his ass to the ground, and they was trying to say that he was choking him out. It kind of did look like he was choking him. Like I was dying laughing watching that, but he just had him by the jersey and just manhandling him. Like like you want to try some shady shit like this? Hold that.
I've heard from some people in Cleveland that Odell prefers the company of men.
Probably
him and Myles Garrett.
Really?
I heard that the Duck Hodges saying a slur to him wasn't a racial slur. It was a different one.
Like a gay slur?
Yes.
Really?
And because, like...
You mean Rudolph?
Yes, not Duck. Rudolph.
Yeah.
I've heard that it was a slur about his orientation, because that is something that... has been a rumor like on Twitter and shit like that for some time. If you or like Reddit too, like if you mess with that at all. But I don't just that whole situation blew my mind. I think that if he said a racial slur to me, that I would probably pin him down and start choking him out.
Right.
And I would tell my teammates, and my teammates would probably all do the same thing, and his teammates would probably do the same thing. I would hope at least, because like there's just no place for that shit.
That's crazy, So you made it drop like an F-bomb on him, and I think that might have set him off.
Well, so the story was that he dropped an F-bomb on him, and Myles Garrett like it set him off, and he didn't come out and say that it was a racial thing right away at the time. And in his meeting with the league, I think like right before the meeting with the league is when it came out that he said like a racial slur. And people were saying, oh, well, it was a slur on his orientation because he didn't want it to come out. So he had to put the blame somewhere, which I don't know if I buy or not. Like
that's interesting.
Like that's a pretty shitty thing to make up.
Right.
Like homophobic slur, not good. Racial slur, not good. But I don't know.
Yeah, lying about it ain't good either.
No,
if you
I mean,
about it.
No, I've heard from people like I have a buddy that goes to school out there that Myles Garrett is into the dudes.
That's interesting.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It is interesting though.
It is
because you feel like he's if that's something he feel like he has to hide.
Yeah,
Like Michael Sam, he was the first openly gay player in the NFL.
What did he ever do? Like, and I don't mean that like condescending or anything. Like, I grew tired of hearing the story so much that I was like, okay, I just want Michael Sam the football player. I don't want Michael Sam the gay football player. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
Good for him, but stop blasting it.
Right.
Like, don't you think that he wants to be known as just Michael Sam?
How does he perform on the field?
Yeah.
And I remember he got drafted the 6th or 7th round.
Yeah.
With the
Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember playing in a couple of preseason games, and I thought he looked pretty solid. And then I don't know, he got cut, and I don't think he ever made a roster from that point forward.
That's just crazy.
But yeah, I remember they was eating that story up.
They
loved that shit. And then, good for him. But like you said, it was just one of those things where like I'm going to look at him any different because he's gay. Like, how does he perform on the field? That's what I care about.
Yeah, like I'm very happy that he's able to be himself openly, and that's really cool, and that's what matters. But they weren't spinning it in that positive way. They were spinning it as, let's wait to see what happens because
Right.
he's the first openly gay player.
Right. So I don't know, man. But yeah, if that is true about Miles or even Odell, I'm like, oh wow, I wouldn't be surprised about Odell. He kind of got those tendencies where it's like, okay, I can see how.
You tell me.
Or my man Jalen. Shout out to my man.
I love Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen, that dude, man. That's probably the best shit talker in the NFL right now.
Yeah, probably.
That dude. I remember Juju went up against him. And he was just saying like, he's like, dude, just stop talking. Like, he just kept talking to me. He's like, yo, dude, we're winning the game, but he just wouldn't shut the fuck up. I'm like, oh shit, that's funny.
Yo, that Jaguars defense really collapsed. They were looking very scary. Didn't they draft Miles Jack?
Miles Jack, yep.
Jalen Ramsey.
Same draft.
Calais Campbell.
Signed him.
They traded for Darius from us. Not that Darius was doing anything at the time, but still.
They had Dante Fowler.
Yep.
Damn, that shit did implode.
AJ.
AJ Smith? No, Boye. Yeah, and then they had the linebacker too.
Yeah.
Was it Telvin Smith or Calvin Smith or something like that?
Yeah.
He's a beast of a linebacker too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that defense was elite. They got to the fucking AFC Championship game.
With Blake Bortles.
Fucking Blake Bortles.
I don't know if you've ever heard any Blake stories, but Blake sounds like a dude that I would fucking hang out with any day of the week.
Yeah.
So I guess he dips a lot. And so his New Year's resolution last year was to stop dipping. So he bought a Tesla because Teslas don't take gas. And he realized he was buying most of his dip from a gas station. He's like, so I'll just go and gas up. And I'd say, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll go buy a 10. So he bought a Tesla to try and stop dipping.
Wow. Hey, man, you know your vice. You know, like, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah. But then he's like, yeah, but then I just realized that it drives itself. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Pick me up a can of fucking He's a cool dude. He's been on quite a few shows that I've seen, and he just seems like a real, like, a laid back dude. Are
you watching any TV series or anything right now?
So me and Abby are watching You.
I was just about to ask you that. How far y'all get?
Oh, we're in the middle of, like, we're on season, like, episode 7 is season 2.
So you see it all season 1?
Yeah.
All right. And now, okay, seasons. All right, so episode 7.
So, like, we just saw yesterday. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yes.
We just saw yesterday where Love paid off Candace to get the fuck away, and then broke up with Joe or Will or whatever the fuck he's calling himself.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I just say that dude looks like a rapist? A school shooter, I don't know. He just looks creepy.
He plays the role almost too good. He plays that role almost
somebody better check his closet.
Too good. Yeah. It's like, oh shit. It's like
somebody figure out what the fuck's going on with this dude.
Season 1 was fucking crazy.
Season 1 was so, like, I don't feel the same about the show in season 2 as I did in season 1. But season 1 was a really good season of television. Like there's some good shows, and You season 1 was up there with just captivating. Like, I didn't want to watch it, but I could not. It was insane.
Yeah. And you know what is really intriguing is hearing him justify doing the shit he doing based on him thinking he's being a better person, making the world.
I need to protect you, Beck.
Yeah, making somebody else's world better by doing just a bunch of evil shit.
I thought the show creeped me out right from the beginning when she showed up and, like, whatever she was wearing to the bookstore. He's like, oh, I'm wearing a skirt so I can see your skin.
Hello, who are you?
You have your hood up so you don't want to be seen, but your legs tell a different story. All of your profiles online are public, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, this is so fucked up. I don't want to have a kid. Like, I don't want this to happen to somebody that I know. Like, this is fucked up shit. So I would mix that show in with Big Mouth.
Oh yeah, Big Mouth my shit.
I fucking love that shit.
Big Mouth is my shit.
That might be the funniest show I've ever watched in my entire life.
That show is one of those shows where I'm able to go back when I was like around that age, and it's like, damn, like this shit is real.
I was sitting there telling Abby about it. I'm like, I always be sitting there in algebra, 7 dudes around me, not a chick in sight, and I'm like, I have a boner, and I don't know why, and I'm just sitting there like that's how it was growing up, like as a boy.
Yes.
Like unfortunately, like we can all laugh about it now because we're far from that,
Right.
But it sucked, and nobody ever fucking talked about it.
It's mad awkward moments, man.
Very awkward. You're like getting like hair on your lip and shit. Like you discover what a boner is. Just all this shit. Touch yourself, Andrew.
What do you want to work on? What do you want to jerk off to this time?
Let's go into the bathroom and climax into those thin toilet paper. Which, for the record, like I never got so bad that I was gonna go jerk off in the bathroom at school, but like some of that shit hits home.
The hormone monsters that shit is crazy, yo.
There was way too much shit going on, like in that show, where I could like kind of wish I had a hormone monster like that,
right.
like someone to bounce some ideas off of, but. The writing on that show,
it's phenomenal.
Absolutely great.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I love that show. That was really good for me to be able to like go back and forth because like some of that shit gets a little too heavy.
Yeah, it do.
Like especially with you, like that's sort of how it was with Game of Thrones with me. Like when I was binging Game of Thrones, I had to mix The Office in a little bit because like I just like I have to pay attention to that show. Like I have to analyze everything that's going on.
Right.
And sometimes I just want to be able to have something like mind numbing.
Yeah.
Like just funny, just laugh. You know, it is what it is.
I get what you're saying on that one. Just a time to take a step back and being able to kind of digest it all before moving forward. I feel you on that one. Yeah, Game of Thrones, man. I'm so happy I got into that show.
So
that shit, that might be the greatest show ever for me.
I hate when people. I will not sit there and tell you that the ending wasn't a disappointment because it was. Partly because all of us had our minds going like at every possible outcome for like a year and a half.
Right.
Like there was that big space and you just came up with every fucking conspiracy theory you could, trying to draw the dots back. But at the end of the day, a TV show is supposed to entertain you. And if you don't think the last season was entertaining, I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
It could have been better written. There could have been I think the thing that pisses me off the most is that people have said about the show writers that they see it as like a 72-hour story. That's why there's 72 episodes or however many episodes there are. That's why they only did 6 and 6 episodes. HBO had approved 10 episodes for the final season. They would fund it, and the writers just didn't want to do it. Fuck you to the writers for that. Fuck you for that, because we could really use some more detail. Like there was some shit that I wish went better. Like I don't think like Cersei dying, getting crushed by rocks.
It didn't give the fans the justice.
No, I thought,
Yeah,
but then at the same,
robbed.
I thought the Night King dying was pretty cool. Arya, I loved Arya.
I wish they would have. So my main thing with the last season of Game of Thrones, for me, it didn't. There's a lot of people that say like it ruined the whole show. It didn't. I could still go back and watch Game of Thrones from season 1 right now and still be thoroughly entertained.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't ruin the show for me. However, the conclusion of it did kind of leave me with like an unsettling taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
So first of all, it felt rushed. It felt rushed. It felt rushed as shit. So, 6 episodes and they're trying to just cram fucking like you're trying to wrap up all these different storylines in 6 episodes.
That was the thing. I think when it got like at the end of season or the first or the second episode, because I think the Battle of Winterfell was the third one. If I'm not
third episode, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, like the the second episode set up for the Battle of Winterfell.
Correct.
And I was like,
The first